Good afternoon, people. Good afternoon. It's the Armoury TV. We're back with a breaking special. Let's get into this. Yo, what's going on? Sorry, my internet's playing up a little bit there. How you all keeping this? Armoury TV. We're back with a breaking news Friday. Say late morning, early afternoon special. I've got my guy Canners with me. Long time no see, bro.
Oh man, it's been a hot minute, man. It's all good to be back and to see your beautiful faces on a beautiful day.
And we got Mr. Silver Fox with us. How you keeping?
I'm all good, my friend. All good. Loving life.
Yeah, very happy at the moment, aren't we?
Absolutely.
Who would have thought it 2 years ago when I first met you guys, we'd be sitting in this position?
we was a long way from there, I tell you.
We just had to trust the process, didn't we, boys? That's what we had to do.
Yeah. A lot of us didn't want to. A few of us were halfway there, but I never imagined it would have been this kind of turnaround in such a short time. I would like to go through the old videos and just get some compilations of some of our takes. Like, there were some good ones, and there's been some horrible ones in there, but we'll see.
Do you know what the thing is, right? I don't want to give. I love the guys anyway. The guys from Paxton Road, right? I was watching their stream yesterday, and do you know what? The pain they're going through, as much as I want to see them wallow in that. I remember when we was there. You just didn't know when the next win was coming. You don't know what kind of performance you're gonna get from the team. Long may that continue, by the way, for those guys. But it was just so funny to see them squirm and kind of like think, what do we do with this team? This club, everything from the tea lady has gone wrong. The tea lady can't make a proper cup of tea now, so it's just gone tits up over there, and long may it continue.
For real, definitely. As I said, it's not a nice feeling when you're in it.
I had Tottenham fans come to me, like saying, but you wanted us to win. I said, I don't ever want you to win.
A draw at most.
It would have been nice, but
listen,
I would have took a draw. But we're creating our own destiny here, so
we don't need them to do anything.
100%. We got James in the chat. He's saying chicken on the beach, Bull FC. I agree with that. We got Brenny in the building. Morning, guys. Thinking about the public enemy track. Can't trust it. Gotta have to change that to can trust it. Yeah, could be with a shout. We got Moss in the building as well. He's saying, what number did the Belgian choose? So let's get into it. Kind of broke yesterday. Trossard, because before that we was linked with Diaby more. We was kind of looking at that, and I think once they maybe come back with the price tag of 100 mil, we kind of just said nah. And then woke up yesterday to Fabrizio Romano saying that Arsenal gone with Trossard and it's moving quick. Canners, you were the first one to say Arsenal moving quick. Can't see it happening.
Mate,
but
do you know what? They caught me off guard with this one. The thing is, though, I'm kind of thinking, it's one of those ones that's kind of like weird because it's like it might be a blessing in disguise for us that Mudryk did go Chelsea and we got Trossard in, because you look at his numbers, you look at do you know what? He's 2-footed and he can play anywhere across the front three, and I think it's a no-brainer of a transfer. I was watching some of his goals yesterday. He scores all types of different goals. Both feet. Yeah, it is. The hat trick against Liverpool, all left foot, but he's right-footed. Yeah. And there were serious finishes. And the thing is that he's got quick feet, and he's got the ability to do a man as well, which I like. Listen, I hope. Do you know what the funniest thing is that the transfer makes too much sense for it not to happen. Do you know what I'm saying? It ticks all the boxes. Apart from one box, which is the age. I mean, yes, we're buying someone who is kind of, in their prime years. I, however, would have liked him to be at this level, maybe at, say, like a 26-year-old, just so we have that little bit more longevity with him and stuff. But this kind of signing strikes me of, like a Alex Ferguson getting a Berbatov or something like that.
When they got Saha,
and those kind of
it's an Arsenal Viltord.
Decent,
Out of Arsenal signs, I think it's that Viltord signing where
he's
you know what I mean. He's not Armoury, but he does a job when he. Do you know what I mean? When he has to play 5-6 games in a row, you're not complaining. Yes, we want Saka fit. Yes, we want Martinelli fit, but it's he's.
I mean, I think right now it's at the perfect time. Martinelli, in all honesty, has probably gone off the ball a little bit somewhat.
I agree with that.
And hey, you know what? Why not? Obviously, he's not going to play against United, but it's a good option to have in the next few games or whatever to kind of have him kind of get a few training sessions under his belt, gets used to the system, the way we're playing, and give Martinelli a little break because Trossard plays off the left.
And Morrison's saying he's quality, a common sense. Let's win now signing. Yeah, and I think that's where Canners was alluding to earlier when he was saying it might be a benefit Mudryk's gone Chelsea at the moment. Because let's get it twisted. I don't think his ceiling's as high as Mudryk. Mudryk's obviously a younger player, hitting the heights at quite a good age, and Mudryk's ceiling is probably higher than what Trossard's would ever.
Nobody knows what his ceiling is. That's the thing.
So when you're buying Mudryk, you're buying potential, which cannot go either way. But more than likely, it's probably going to be, do you know what I mean, a positive signing. You spend that kind of money on a player. However, we don't know what he's going to be like coming into the Prem. He doesn't know the Prem yet. Do you know what I mean? He's in his off season as well, so it's kind of like, would he hit the ground running? With Trossard, I think the difference is he knows the Premiership. He knows the ins and outs. He's tried and tested in the Prem, so you're hoping he hits the ground running, and I think that would have benefit us going to from now to the end of the season. He could be the difference to, do you know what I mean?
He might be like a Mane kind of signing. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but even Diego Jota was the same. I didn't expect him to do what he done when he went to Liverpool. And again, playing with better players. James is saying we've just acquired a 10+ goal and assist player for 25 mil. It's great business. And again, it's not just a 10 goal plus in the Dutch league or the French league where you're not. Do you know what I mean? He's done it in the Premiership, which makes a big difference. And I do look at his assists. We'll pull up his stats now from the time he's in the Prem. Let me find it on here because it's not the greatest reading, if in all honesty. He played 116 games in the Premier League, scored 25 goals and has 13 assists. So it doesn't look great. However, what I will say is he's playing for Brighton, and it's not disrespectful because I love Brighton as a team. But Brighton for years were always missing that striker. Do you know what I mean? We always have said Brighton could get, and that's why I said Nketiah to Brighton would make perfect sense when they were linked with him because they play great football, but they just never really seem to score enough goals. So that's why, you know me already, I look at the eye test rather than the numbers because he could be putting balls on a plate for Welbeck and Welbeck's not finishing, and now it goes against him, but actually he's done all he could do. So Tony, what do you think of his numbers? Do you think that's significantly going to improve playing for Arsenal? And give us your thoughts on the signings. We haven't heard from you yet. I'm going to put it.
I've been screaming for a long time now that this is the kind of guy that I wanted in the team. You've heard it. You've seen it in the chat and even in the comments to some of these streams that you've been doing recently. I'm excited by it. It makes perfect sense. The fact, he's Premier League proven. He's been doing it for Brighton. He's been doing it in the big games. And, you talk about the numbers there, he's got for Brighton. You put him in that, so we've all done the eye test. You put him in that Arsenal team, the way we've been playing, especially this season. He is going to bring something different. And, he's going to start as a sub, isn't he? Let's be real. And he's going to change games for us, As Candace pointed out, Martinelli's been a little bit off the boil recently. And that's they're going to push each other. And I think Martinelli needs that. missing out on Mudryk probably is a blessing in disguise, because obviously we've now got ourselves a Premier League proven player, so we haven't got the risk of paying so much money for an unproven player that's, that hasn't played in a top tier league, if you like. Yeah, he's played in the Champions League, but the Ukrainian league, they're not really playing it, are they? So he's not playing as many games as you'd like him to be playing in comparison to Trossard. So yeah, for me, it's logical. I'm looking forward to seeing him in that Arsenal shirt and what he's going to bring to the team. He's going to raise our game up for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, it's an interesting one. I think there's no denying quality player. And again, I think it gives us a bit more freedom elsewhere with transfers because of the price tag, but also with the players coming through. We know Arsenal are, do you know what I mean? Very, very used to using the youth system. Obviously, Reece Nelson caught an injury, but was looking like he was starting to kind of show the promise that we all thought he had. That Cozier Dubry looks like a player, and I think someone like Trossard doesn't block the pathway the same as a Mudryk might block the pathway. Again, if you sign Mudryk, you're talking the next 7 to 10 years. Trossard, even though he signed, I think, is it 3.5-year contract? It's to 2026. Really, honestly, within 2 years, he might now be in Cedric's position. Do you know what I mean? And I don't think any Arsenal fan's going to grumble. Even if you didn't make money, or even if you don't sell him, he just sees his contract out. He then just becomes a useful player within the squad, a bit like an El Nene, those kind of guys where every year you're torn. Do you just give him an extra year because he's helpful, or do you let him go? And
you could almost Bergkamp, Wenger used to do that with Bergkamp every year, just a year contract when he hit his 30. But that's what he used to do with every player. Wenger, as soon as the player hits 30, just a year contract.
Yeah,
definitely.
You got to remember as well that Trossard is very versatile as well, so you can play anywhere along the front three.
Completely. Yeah.
So
the next question: do you think this gets done in time for him to be available for Man United? So I'm just going to put up another tweet here quickly. It's Fabrizio Romano. This came out about half an hour ago. It's Romano saying, let's see if you can see it. Tell me if it's shared. Hold on. He's now successfully completed all medical tests as Arsenal player. So if you don't know the rules, by book on the Friday, you have to have a player registered if you want them to play on the weekend. So he's done the medical. Most of the work sounded like it was done a lot last night, the paperwork. So we've got 40 minutes to register him. Do you think it will get done, and do you think we'll see him on the bench? And this is my reason why I thought we moved really quick on it, is because they're trying to get him in for the weekend. Then I started wondering, imagine if we got an injury or there's a slight illness to Saka or Martinelli. Maybe this is why we've really rushed it.
Don't think like that. Think positive.
Touch with this lot. But do you think this gets done within the next 40 minutes, Canners?
I believe it can do. I think that the medicals is the main thing that will take time for it to be done. My thing is that it would have been a no-brainer. You get them in, everyone in at 7 a.m. If it takes a couple of hours for a medical, boom, it's done by 9, whatever. So I believe, look, if they wanted to get it done, so he is registered and he is able to be involved in some capacity on Sunday, they would do whatever to get it done. So it looks like it's pointing that way. So I reckon it will be done. Pretty much so. The official, how Arsenal are. He'll be signed or whatever, but before they release it and stuff, they want all the photos. You'll get on Twitter, some leaked photos of him going into the green room and stuff, and
holding football.
He's wearing a pair of trainers and the full kit, and
I hear that.
It's all of that. So they'll release it when they want to release it. But my assumption is that he will be registered. All the paperwork's probably done.
Definitely. Right, we're going to get into some comments because they're firing off. Combs in the building. Trossard a great backup for Martinelli. Very good and intelligent player to come off the bench. Do you think he sees himself as the backup, Tony? Or do you think he's saying, I'm coming for Martinelli's shirt? Or does it just give us the rotation? So Europe starting back up soon. Might be Thursday Saka rest, Sunday Martinelli rest, then the next week it might be Trossard rest. Even Odegaard, he can play all the way along kind of them positions, can't he? So do you see him as just a backup player, or do you see him as a rotational? He's going to start as many times as he's on the bench.
I mean, look, I think he'll start on the bench. He'll be, rotational. But he's going to come in. He's got a point to prove. He's 28. He's probably on his last big contract now. He's going to, like I said, he's going to prove a point. I think. Look, when you're a team that wants to challenge for the big titles, you want players to be competing with each other for the positions, and he's going to do that. Him and Martinelli in particular are going to push each other, but it'll push in other areas as well, because I think he's been mainly in the middle for Brighton, so he'll have a look. He'll see who's playing, who might be dropping off a little bit, and they'll target them, I think, and that's what you want. That's what you want, and look. He's been starting most games with Brighton, hasn't he? So he's going to be. But Arteta said to him that you are going to play. You're going to be playing a lot of games. It's just a question of where, really. But like I said, you need a player that's going to push your other players, your starters, and he's going to do that. And he might end up starting. He might even be bringing Martinelli back down to the bench. So, after the way Martinelli can play with me. So, it's a clever signing for me. It's it's most logical one we could do, really.
Yeah, 100. I think it does. It's the logics behind it, isn't it? James is saying it's not just goals and assists. He's our Jota signer, versatile at its finest, has a good record scoring against the top 6 teams. That's really important, I think, for Arsenal as well. And this one signing for me, I think most of you agree. The game that highlighted this was Newcastle. It's all fair and well when we're winning games, scoring early, can control the game, see the game out.
100%.
All season.
It was crying out for something else.
And Arteta's looking behind him, and he's not sure on Vieira because of the physicality of Newcastle's midfield. Marquinhos, for me, isn't ready yet. So he's looking.
Smith Rowe wasn't really.
How do I change this? Yeah, he wasn't. I don't think he was on the bench against Newcastle. So this is where this signing makes sense. It's that bit of reliability. We're not getting ahead of ourselves and saying our 11's the best 11 in the league, but at the moment we're playing the best football. So they are the best 11 in the league, but it's that drop off after that 11, isn't it? Defense, I think we're fine. I don't care if Zinchenko or Tierney plays. You don't care if Ben White goes in the middle or if it's Saliba, Gabriel, Tomiyasu comes in. You're not really too fast. It's that attacking area in the midfield where we really need to strengthen. But yeah, with him coming in, do you think that it's Marquinhos going out on loan? Obviously, Reece Nelson's due to come back. Smith Rowe's coming back to fitness. Vieira is obviously in front of Marquinhos. And now Trossard coming in. For me, Marquinhos has to go out on loan. He's wasted 6 months of his career. Yes, he's training. He's played a few games in Europe, but really and honestly, minutes to everything at that age. So for me, he goes out. Canners, keep him there or send him out on loan?
That's a tough one, because I think the thing is that you look at it now, across the top, we're looking like we've got a little bit of depth. We're talking Saka, Martinelli, Smith Rowe, Vieira, Odegaard, Marquinhos, Nelson. So we've got 7 players there, what I just reeled off, vying for 3 positions, basically. And that's quite healthy. Maybe, 7 into 3, maybe a bit too much, and he's the 7th, and it could be a good thing for him to get minutes and to go out on loan. It totally depends also as well what we do against Man City and the type of teams we get in the Europa League. But I think now, because we're getting now to the business end of the Europa League, he'll probably won't be used as much unless he's doing a madness in training, which I don't think he is. It would be good for him to get on loan, but where would he go? That's the only thing.
I don't think it'd be a Prem move, personally. I think he'd end up somewhere abroad. Because again, at this stage, any team in the Prem is not going to really take a punt on a youth player.
No.
Someone more like an Elanga, people will go for because he's played quite a substantial amount of minutes in the Premier League. So you're seeing Everton the link with him. So I think Marquinhos may be Championship.
It might be a bit too rough and rugged for him to Championship.
Yeah, but that's what he might need. He might need a bit of time down there. Silver Fox, you were shaking your head. You're saying you don't want him to go out on loan. Do you think he's staying?
Well, I'm conflicted. See, I just look at the competitions that we're still in. Obviously, we've got the Europa League coming back. We're in the FA Cup. I suppose I might wait until after what happens against City, because obviously that's one of the last games before the window shuts. So it could be a late decision. I think it will be a late decision. I would like him to get more minutes, so a loan would be ideal. But I just still think we're probably a little bit light on the wings for me. So for that reason, I'd probably still keep him, but I would like him to get more minutes.
Yeah, I hear you. The only I think reason why I would say are we light is because when we've had the opportunities to play him, we still haven't played him. And that's the telling thing for me. We don't really, even in Europe, we wasn't really starting him much. He started the first 2 or 3, and then after that, he didn't start. So even when there's been opportunities to play him, I don't think he even played in FA Cup games. He didn't start in the FA Cup game, did he?
No.
So it's them games where you think he should be starting now. He's not starting. So for me, yeah. But I understand the reasons why, because you don't want to get caught short. Like at the moment, in the striker position, we've got one fit striker.
I do
so I do
like
get it.
Cole's comment or a suggestion to where to send him is somewhere like a Dortmund wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, 100%. Leipzig or Salzburg, someone like that, where they really do like using the youth players. Yes, big up my guy here. How are you guys? He's in Uganda watching. What about Musa Diaby? Do you think that is now done? Now we've got Trossard. Do you think we'll go back for him in the summer, or do you think that's done?
I think that's that. To be honest, I think he'll start looking at other targets, other areas to strengthen. I'm talking big money signings. Yeah. I mean, it'll be an amazing purchase if we was able to get him, but I can't see it, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Hey, Gunnar Greg, behave. Nketiah can come after 70 minutes as well. No. Leave my boy out there. Nah.
I don't think that's a good personally. I think he's more about protecting.
It's true. Game's won, and again, it just gives you that if one of them's not having a bit of an off day or got a little niggle, taking a few kicks. You're not scared to rotate.
Yeah, I tell you, always after around at least 80 minutes, 84, 85 minutes, he'll take off Jesus and bring Nketiah on. So I think if Arteta could take Nketiah off, and bring someone else on to do this kind of similar type of job, he would. The problem is that we haven't got anyone ready to do that similar job. Maybe Trossard could do that. That might happen if we're doing all right or whatever, and after 84, 85 minutes, whatever, bring Nketiah off, bring Trossard on for fresh legs, and he'll have that kind of new kind of debut kind of energy. Do you know what I mean? It'll be a different kind of energy.
I hear that. Just going to get to James's comment. I'm going to get through as many comments as possible. We have 4 to 5 youth products that look like world beaters. They're passing of the guard lines up with Xhaka and Partey age-wise. So when the squad develops past them, we integrate the youth. So yeah, it could be, again, it's an intelligent signing for me. He's not going to be the one in 7 years we're talking about, but for the next 3 years, he could have a really important part to play. And then we move on to these guys who potentially could be coming in. And it gives them time to develop. We're not then... Because again, you look at Saka, that could have really gone horribly wrong. The way he was thrown into the Lions Den and became such a big, important player for us.
He was playing everywhere, wasn't he? He was playing left back, left wing, right back,
right wing, and we was relying on him. We was heavily relying on a kid at that age. He was literally never had that kind of pressure. Yeah. So again, I think for these other guys coming through, the position we're in, they will have a more smooth integration. A bit like how Foden was integrated into that City team. You can see he had great potential, great footballer, but there was never any huge pressure on him to win a game for them. It was more, right, the rest of them, you just come and fit in. Whereas Saka had it completely the opposite. And it's probably made him into what he is. Yeah. But you don't want to be doing that for every player. James is saying, what about this? Trossard debut goal against United is going to hit like crack. Yeah, the crowd will go wild. But
do you know what? The perfect scenario is that we win that game 3-0 and he gets the third goal like Freddie Ljungberg did against them.
That would be beautiful.
When he just signed, didn't he? He just signed and then he come on as a sub and then boom, he lobbed Schmeichel. That was brilliant.
What a way to introduce yourself, innit? Has anyone got 2 hat-tricks at Anfield in the same season? There we go. There's one for your statisticians. This answers Brenny. Brenny knows everything with football. So has anyone got 2 hat-tricks at Anfield in the same season? Can Trossard be the first?
Could you imagine?
So Brenny's not just happy with 1. With Trossard and another signing or 2 this window, and we're looking at rotation, not thinking where we are going to play them, still in 3 competitions. So do you see any more business getting done in this window?
I have a little kind of inkling or a little kind of birdie told me that the young right back, Ivan Fresneda, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like that could be next.
Yeah.
I mean, that's more of a future signing, though. It's more like he's not going to go straight into the team. It's more of a.
No.
I think that the rumours are that maybe Cedric may be going.
Yeah. For them,
I wonder if we was to do that, if we buy him and loan him back to that club for the rest of the season. Again, just because, yes, Cedric might leave, but then Tomiyasu is still second choice right back at this moment in time. And again, I know you can't account for injuries, but it's again, would it stop his development this season if he's having a good year? Sure. Do you know what I mean? You may send him back out there.
Do you know what? I'm getting a gist of Arteta's signings. He wants players that can play multiple positions. Now you got Zinchenko, he can play midfield, left back, whatever. You got Ben White, he's playing right back, centre back, whatever. The thing is same with Tomiyasu. I think what he might look, because this guy is actually he's quite a unit actually. Again, if he brings in, Cedric only plays right back, full stop. If he brings in this other right back, he again can play probably in one of the centre back positions or right back, keeping in line that, if anything was to go wrong with Gabriel or Saliba or whatever, the drop off won't be that large, because I would trust Ben White to come in there in the centre back position. Also, even Tomiyasu as well. I'd be happy with having Fresneda then as a right back. So the thing is the only weakness we have really is in the centre of midfield, and that is the only position. I think if we was to get this kid in, I think then it just leaves that summer signing everyone's talking about in midfield.
Big DR. So Samir is here. He's saying, is the deal confirmed? So from what we believe, the deal's not confirmed. Romano tweeted out half an hour ago that he's done the medical. Paperwork was kind of signed yesterday.
It's done, but it's not Arsenal official online Arsenal.com announced done.
Yeah, the yellow banner's not at the bottom of Sky Sports yet, but
we're under
the presumption it's done. So again, the paperwork and everything might be signed and sealed, and Premier League have accepted it, but Arsenal just haven't announced it yet. So again, Arsenal normally like to do their announcement videos before we announce things, and then you'll get the behind the scenes footage of him walking to the ground, meeting Arteta and all of that. So that will probably come out a bit later.
All those leaked little Twitter photos and stuff, they'll start.
Him with the
they'll
green
probably
team.
be out.
Already. We got Eds in the building. So even though he's just said earlier he's a poor man's Martinelli, just not got the pace, but he's also saying he's not a bad signing.
I would
solid
say
utility squad player.
Over 10 yards.
I think he's going to surprise people.
Quick enough. Yeah.
I think he's, and again, sometimes you don't realize it because of who they play for. We've seen it with Mane, we've seen it with Jota. When they move to the bigger clubs, they all of a sudden hit the ground running. You're just like, I did not see this explosion.
I did not see any of that when he was at Wolves or blah blah blah, or even like Mane at Southampton. It was like, okay, I knew Mane was decent.
I was laughing,
but
when United were linked with him, I was laughing, thinking you're going to spend 35 million on him.
Oh, he destroyed us.
Yeah, it shows what we know sometimes as fans, isn't it? But yeah, Ed's saying, until I see him on a pitch for Arsenal, I feel like Todd Bowley is always lurking. Never forget Obi Mikel was at Carrington taking pics with the shirt.
Doesn't it make you wonder, though, the whole Chelsea thing? And maybe the whole Mudryk thing was a long game, to try and entice Chelsea and, spend all that money. Because, Graham Potter would have loved to have Trossard at Chelsea.
Yeah.
So I'd say, let's play this long game with Mudryk. Let's pretend that we want him. They signed him, and we've just gone straight in for Trossard. After
this one done.
You play the long game, you don't know. Just a game of chess.
Yeah.
I can't believe.
Here we go. Ed's saying, with Trossard's arrival, ESR is officially a utility squad player. Well, I don't know if you guys watch Prime as close as I watch Prime, the All or Nothing documentary. When Arteta Edu had the board up for kind of next season's squad, and he had players in positions. And if you looked at it, on the left, it was only Martinelli. In the centre midfield position where Xhaka plays, it had Xhaka and Smith Rowe. On Odegaard's position was just Odegaard, and then we know we signed Vieira, so he then sits in there. So for me, I think Smith Rowe's long game, it will be inside into the central areas. So he's still a squad player. He's going to take him a bit of time to get up to speed, but I do think he's going to move into the central position. And I think this is probably why we're not really linked with an 8. We're more linked with a Declan Rice, who will then kind of be doubled up with Partey. So But the good thing is, City don't look at it like your utility player. Yesterday we saw them come back against Tottenham, win 4-2, and De Bruyne didn't touch the pitch.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You need to be able to rely on your squad. So, yeah, I think it's disrespectful when we call some of our players utility players. I think they're squad players. Yeah, everyone's more than capable of stepping in and performing at a high level.
But that's
and we
what
saw
you
that
want.
last year.
Yeah, that's
Competition,
exactly
isn't
what
it?
you want. I mean, I think the last time we had a squad to a certain extent was probably 2003-2004 season. The only weakness was certain players from defence went, there was a problem, but from midfield and up front and stuff, you just had pure rotation, and it was just the drop off was minimal. I'm kind of listen. I think we're nearly there. I think we probably need about 2 or 3 players. I would like maybe to see another striker, maybe definitely a central midfielder and another defender. And I think then we've got makers of a squad that could actually, you don't know, man, can go to the deeper echelons of Champions League next year. But luck comes into it as well.
Definitely. Go on, Silva, before I answer the next question.
I was going to say, have you guys heard about the links with Bournemouth's Jadon Anthony? And
I heard about that.
Him? I mean, obviously, he was a former product of ours who then went off to Bournemouth at under 18 level. I've seen him in person when he was on loan to Weymouth 3 years ago. He's very composed. He's very calm. He's calm on the ball. He's good on the ball. He's a good passer. And he's having an all right season with Bournemouth, but I don't know. Is it a risky one? Is it enough? Because he plays on the left wing. So I don't know how true it is, because obviously I think Trossard will be predominantly on the left wing as well. So is that more of just a whisper, or do you believe there's anything to it? Or?
I do think, again, what we see with clubs, they do go around and ask the question, how much is this player available for? Would you be interested in selling him? And again, someone might hear that and then that's it. Because we saw the Facuna Torres come out and said Arsenal inquired about him in December before he went to the World Cup. And once he went to the World Cup, he didn't hear anything after. So again, I think we do obviously go around and speak and inquire, but whether a bid comes in. But again, how old is he? Is he quite young?
23.
Yeah, I can't see it personally at that age. I think he was a bit younger, maybe one for the future, but yeah, you never know. This one's an interesting one. So James is saying Fabrizio said we're in for a centre mid and a right back. So the right back thing's interesting for me because we've kind of got 2 there already in Tomiyasu and Ben White. I know Ben White can play inside the centre if there's an injury. But do you, Tomiyasu? We've spoken about Tierney. And is he happy? Would he be happy with the role he's playing at the moment? I can see us addressing that. If he can't do what Arteta wants him to do in the inverted position, would he look elsewhere? Tomiyasu, what's our thoughts on him? I love the guy. But again, is he another one? Would he be happy with playing understudy? Because again, them 2 centre-backs don't get injured. Ben White's not moving from right back. Or is it a case? And then if we bring in this other right back as well, who could maybe do what Arteta wants more, where does it leave Tomiyasu? Like, what's your thoughts on it? Or do you think we're just reading into it? Do you think this is just a great option at right back we've got coming in that we can't miss out on? On Kenneth.
I think Tomiyasu for me, his mentality is A+. He's always wanting to challenge himself. Now he's going to see this now is that he's at. I've read so many from the programs to other kind of stories or whatever where they've interviewed him, and his mentality to me is very it's perfect. It's a proper professional in the sense that he wanted to come to Arsenal obviously to test himself, to play with better players, etc., etc. The thing is now we're moving up a level now in what we're doing in terms of we're challenging for the title. We will be in Champions League. He's gone up another level, and the thing is, if you look at it like that, he's going to want to. His mentality, in my opinion, is one of right. I've got to rise. I've got to do whatever I need to do in training, cause the gaffer a problem, and then see what happens come Saturday. However, no one's happy if they're not playing. The thing is, though, on our flip side, what Arteta wants basically, he wants at least 2, at the minimum 2 players vying for every position. And I think the fact that he's striving towards that, and he'll have that, and he has that right now at that position. In my opinion, it's for him. It's a great problem to have, and we'll see how he manages it. The thing is, next season we will be in 4 competitions, and there'll be big competitions as well.
And next year, sorry, just quickly, next year the Champions League changes its format, doesn't it?
Right.
It's in that new league format.
Or is it the season after? The 24 season?
Is it the season after?
I think it's the 24. I think it is. I'm not sure. I may be wrong.
Okay. We'll fact check it. If someone knows in the comments, just drop it in there and let us know.
Yeah. But you're right. Look, there's going to be more games. And no matter what, you're going to get the opportunity. Not Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel cannot play every single game. Cannot. And the thing is, what you got to do, and what Ben White has done at right back, right? So, because he was thrust into playing right back, it wasn't, in my opinion, it wasn't by design, him playing right back. He's taken it on, seeing Saliba and Gabriel form a partnership, thinking to himself, fuck me, if Tomiyasu comes back fit and I ain't performing, I've got problems. And what has he done? He's rose to the occasion. He's now a right back, you could say. Do you know what I mean? He's our number 1 right back. Whereas we was all at the start of the season thinking, oh man, Tomiyasu's not fit, blah blah blah. Nah, so that you got to give, you got to just tip your hat to Arteta for actually now you've seen the type of mindset of the player that he's actually buying to rise to the occasion, and whatever problems come to them, hopefully they have the answers. Yeah, exactly.
I like this one here. This is Guna Greg. He's saying Kessie or Camavinga loan would be good. I think Kessie scored yesterday, but Camavinga all day. He's and if you've seen what's happened recently at Madrid, where he's not been playing much.
Yeah, but with Camavinga, was you impressed with him at the World Cup? I watched him. I don't know.
I was so athletic, and again, he's playing left back at certain games and done a job there. Like that World
Cup,
he
didn't do a job at left back. He got killed at left back. If I remember,
I think he done all right, man. I think he done all right at left back.
Who killed him at left? Who was right when he killed him? I think it was I think it was the game against was it Morocco?
I can't remember. It's gone too far back.
Yeah, but he had a torrid. He had a torrid at left back, and it was.
I remember the final, him playing left back, and he changed the game for me. He was one of the players that really changed the game.
Okay.
But again,
he impressed me.
He's not really, from what the rumors are at Madrid, he's not been playing. He's been dragged off at half time a few games in a row.
But you know what? Madrid don't want to sell to us anymore, man. We rate them by getting on.
100%.
You keep Ceballos, so we're getting Odegaard. Yeah.
Did you see my boy Ceballos assisting a goal yesterday? I was so happy for him, man. That is my guy. Edward's trying to upset me. He's saying Trossard's taking Nketiah's place. Ibrahim, big up yourself as well. He's saying this is great news. He's really happy. Abiyo is saying, I guess you people have access to Emirates. Please let them know that to us here in Africa, Uganda in particular, this Manchester United fixture means more to us than the Spurs game. Yeah, it is that. Spurs game means a lot, but this game, they almost need putting in their place a bit, United. And just to touch on that, actually, I was on the stream, a few of the guys weren't very happy after the Tottenham game, saying we really could have gone for them. We really could have hit 3 and 4 past Spurs in their backyard. And I was like, nah, do you know, I'm normally one that wants goals. And for me, I said we controlled the game well. And when I was during the game, I was sitting there and I was thinking, Saka don't get booked, Saliba don't get booked. And actually, the way we controlled the game meant there was no need for anything rash. Yeah. So again, if we're playing expansive, all of a sudden a counter-attack, Saliba has a decision to make. If he now gets a booking, we're now sitting there, why did we open up? Why did we go for them? We were 2-0, we were comfortable. In fact, they managed the game. Saliba I don't think he made a foul in that game.
Yeah, I don't think
the way we controlled it, everyone protected him. Saka as well. Again, when you're playing the perspective, they catch us on the counter. Saka may have to commit a foul to stop an overload somewhere. Yeah. We controlled the game. And the flip side is you see United fans now absolutely losing their head because Casemiro's been suspended. And again, they didn't even win either. So it's a double whammy. Like you could have then just rested him for the Arsenal game or took him off because you ended up dropping points anyway. So yeah, the way we managed that was 100%. Really important. And again, it showed.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tony.
Doesn't it just show the confidence that they have, not just the manager has in the team, but the players have in each other? You know, you know, like you said, they kind of stepped. The forward players kind of stepped back a little bit in the second half, and they knew the defense and the goalkeeper was going to handle it. So and where, you know, you look at the difference in, you know, with Man United when they were only 1-0 up against Crystal Palace, and Casemiro felt like he needed to do something and just launched into Zaha. It just shows that, you know, the confidence in this team in itself is it's unbelievable.
And that's where a young team, the way they manage the game is really important. As I said, Man United,
the youngest team in the Prem.
Yeah. Man United wasn't managing that game against Palace, hence why. And again, it can happen. Tottenham had a 5-10 minute spell in the second half where we was backs against the wall. Session got in and had that chance, but after that, we managed the game really well. And again, United didn't really manage it, hence why Casemiro then gave away that free kick. Anything could be, the free kick's the free kick they scored. Do you know what I mean? You can't stop that, but they lost control of the game, and I think that's
you know what the funniest thing, and it's all about situations, is the fact that had Casemiro been on 2 yellow cards, that foul would have been you know what? That's such a great foul, great yellow card to take. You know, Zaha was away, blah blah blah. Take on for the team. But that it was beautiful when he did that challenge. I
celebrated it like at least his goal.
It was a goal. But the thing is, though, I just feel that for me, the 2-0 was a perfect result, right?
Yeah.
We scored 2 goals away from home, and they didn't score. We had a clean sheet. Yeah. For me, that's just like, for me, that's perfect. That's control. That's control.
We beat them 5-1 over the 2 games, and they didn't score from open play. It was a penalty. There's nothing else to be said. That we're performing very, very well. So I'm just going to keep trying to rattle through some.
Did you see that where Hoyt tried to get a penalty off Saliba? The cheek of it.
Yeah, just dived like a fool. That's the only way they was going to score, isn't it? James is saying if we make the signings I expect us to make in the summer, we need to be Champions League semi-finalists minimum. And again, a lot of it comes down to your draw.
James.
James has been optimistic, but I'm in agreement with him. I don't see there's many teams out there that can really beat us. Like,
I feel like turn it on. Disappointment to lose in the Champions League first before we do go on and win it. I don't think we'll go straight in there and challenge. We need this team, this young team, to feel the disappointment of getting knocked out of the Champions League,
sometimes there's that naivety of, we're not scared of anybody. That young, you know what I mean? Sometimes we're fearless at the moment, aren't we? It's like anyone that comes to the table, and let's be honest, football is a young man's game at the moment. Like, it's changed a lot, and you can see it with. I watched Madrid against Barcelona the other day, and Barcelona put like a 30-pass sequence together, didn't even go over the halfway line, and Madrid just look flustered. They look at you, Benzema, Kroos, and Modric. They can't press. Do you know what I mean? What can you, like you say, you're 37-year-old Modric and you're seeing Gavi and Pedri just popping this ball around, Busquets is enjoying life. It's like, do you know what I mean? And I think you look at, and I'm watching what Chelsea are doing, and actually I can see they're gearing up to get rid of all the old guard and bring in some youthful players. Because again, Potter might have gone there and said, I know I'm going to get the flack for this, and this is why I think they're sticking with Potter. But I think Potter's saying we can't do it with what we've got. Like, Kante's legs are burnt out. Jorginho's never had legs. Kovacic isn't the most, you know what I mean, athletic person in midfield. So you're talking, that's your midfield, and you're playing against these guys that are playing ball. Like, I think they're gearing up for a massive overhaul that, well, you can see it. They're buying non-stop. But if you look at the profiles, they're buying a lot of young players. They're almost copying Arsenal's philosophy. So
here's a question, just
go for it.
That being said, with a mass clear up happening or whatever, in this window, would you take Sterling?
Nah. Not now we got Trossard.
Okay.
Not now we got Trossard. I just wouldn't see.
So if we hadn't got Trossard, you'd take Sterling.
Again, it had to be the right parameters. So that it would have to be a couple of years. Price can't be too high. If you're saying similar price to what we got Trossard,
we ain't getting Sterling for 90
that's
grand
what I mean.
a week.
So if we're talking 50 mil and all that, now I'm not interested. This one's interesting. Savic on loan with an option to buy. That one would be the one that really gets me going.
Listen,
even more than Declan Rice. One.
I'll be. Do you know what? I'll be happy with either. Simply because, look, I know this guy Milinkovic-Savic is an absolute baller, but the thing is that Declan Rice, you know that he's prem proven. And
The
only thing he'll have to adapt is the way we play in terms of getting used to our patterns of play. That's the only thing Trossard and Rice would have to do, is just adapt, have a few training sessions, and that's it.
Yeah. Is Ed saying Real coming back for Odegaard now, looking for a perfect Modric replacement this season? Never
150 mil. He can have it for 150 mil.
Yeah. That was the best bit. There's no buyback clause, nothing like that.
150 mil and Camavinga.
Camavinga, please. Yeah. We hold the power. And again, I think Odegaard is probably very, very happy at the moment where he is. And
he's
as captain, you know what I mean?
Of league winners, Premier League winners elect. He's a captain.
Ooh, I like that.
It's decent. Exciting times, man. It's exciting to be an Arsenal fan right now, and I swear the thing is, look, do you know what? You know, fair enough. We may not win the league, right? But the one thing you can say about this team, right, is that I'm in love with the way they play the game. Yeah. And with what they're doing, and you can see we have a way of playing. And you know what? The thing is now teams. There was a period of time not too long ago, only the last couple of years, where teams would come to look to get 3 points at the Emirates. Now we're a team where teams have to set up to get something, try and get something out of the game at the Emirates, and that just is a result of all the hard work that Arteta and the backroom staff have done, and also the players. They've earned that. Teams now are setting up at the Emirates, and also even at home, to try and play us on the counter, because they know what we can do.
Say that we've played more away games than anybody else in the league.
Yeah, we played more away games and less home games.
We lost the one game.
Against United. Yeah. So we've got Smart Djibu. I can't pronounce it. I'm not even going to bother. But yeah, big up yourself. He's saying to us in Nigeria, the Man United game is a matter of pride. So seems like we've got a lot of guys from the warm part of the world, from Africa in the chat. So big up all yourselves. And this one seems like it means a lot to them. The rivalry here is so big because the country's got mostly Arsenal and United fans. They wanted Saliba and Saka to get yellow cards. Then Casemiro got one.
You know what the thing is, though?
This game's massive, isn't it?
The young kids from the era of the 2000s, the early, the late 90s and the 2000s, they're now obviously, they all remember the huge rivalry we had with United and everything, from the Keane Vieira, Henry, Stam.
Part of me did want to see that Casemiro part. The thing is, they're not really going to come into contact with each other. This is what I keep saying to people. Both Casemiro does have a bit more license than Partey to get forward, but them two, it's not like Vieira and Keane where them two used to go at it. Partey's going to be at the base, so you're going to see Partey around more Eriksen or Bruno, depending on who they play in that position. And then you'll see Casemiro more be looking after Xhaka, I believe. He normally plays on the right side of their midfield, so he'll be more nearer Xhaka. However, they may switch it, but I think they would play Fred on Odegaard and stop him playing like they did to De Bruyne. I think that's how they're set up. So you probably wouldn't have seen much of it anyway, but it would have been nice to have both on the pitch at the same time. But guys, once we're here, can you please like and hit the subscribe button? If you're new to the channel, thank you for tuning in. Hope you're enjoying the show so far. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Tonight we've got the Man United preview with Bobby, and I think he's got a few United guests on there. Do you know what time that show is?
He's got Bobby. I think Bobby's on as well. I can't remember, but some of the it's an all Armoury TV preview of the Man United game. We've got no Man United involvement. They did all that last night. Tonight, we're still with Gunners.
What time is the show tonight?
7 o'clock, I believe. But what I want to say is, obviously, everyone's talking about the whole Arsenal Man United rivalry thing over in Africa. It's the same here. I was born in 1985, so I grew up through the 90s, going to school. And at school in North London, it was always Arsenal, Man United. Don't ask me how, but it was. It was all Arsenal, Man United, and that's what I knew growing up. So it's not just over there; it's here as well. So look, when the fixtures come out, the first team I look out for isn't Tottenham; it's Man United. Then it's Tottenham, because Tottenham, I grew up them being irrelevant. They still are. So just the way it is.
Always likes to get his little digs in.
Yeah, I'm just saying, and people, and now they call this the social media derby as well now, didn't they? So it's big, it's massive over here, massive.
Yeah. It's a big game, big game, and nothing will fill me with more joy than beating them lot this weekend.
I
Really
can't
was
take.
like it was nice to see Palace draw with them, but yeah, they need putting in their place a bit. They have been playing,
Patrick
they've been
Vieira,
winning
man, he
games. I
helped
can't
us
say they've
out.
been playing well. Yeah, all them old
Patrick
boys.
Vieira.
Ed saying Lazio will never take the deal. That was when we was talking about Savic on loan. James is saying apparently we're in advanced talks to sign a centre back from Poland. To be fair, the talk on Ndika's gone quiet because we could have signed him on a pre-contract, isn't it? Because his contract expires in end of summer. So be interesting to see what is done. I think Ndika makes sense as he's left-footed and he's free. So he makes perfect sense. And that could spell the end for Holding. But I saw a little report. Holding said Lacazette spoke to him and said, "Stay at Arsenal as long as you can."
I saw that.
That
Came from the program. One of the programs.
Okay.
So that came from an interview with Holding.
The thing about Holding is that I think the players love him. He is a locker room leader. He's like a spokesperson as well. Have you seen him like recently on social media and that? He does a lot of the talking. But look, for me, Holding deserves to play more, and he won't do it at Arsenal. So he has to move on.
He will. He'll play in the FA Cup. He'll play.
No, but what I'm saying is that he deserves to be playing a lot more than what he is at Arsenal. So I think it's probably time for him to move on, especially doing Ndika. You spoke about Tommy Yasu, and Tommy Yasu, for me, this season has played everywhere along the back four. So and he can do a job. So I think as much as I love Holding, I love what Holding brings to the team in the locker room, change room, whatever you want to call it. I think he does need to go because he's a good player, right? He's a very, very good player, and he should probably go to like I don't know, maybe not necessarily a Villa because they're signing loads of defenders, but a team like that.
That level. Fulham, something. Do you know? I look at Holding. I think actually, if a bid came in for him right now, even if it was a crazy bid, just say we saw him bid 20 million for Holding, I wouldn't actually take it because I think no one deserves to win that Premier League medal then in this squad more than Holding. Like what a way for him to leave Arsenal.
So happy,
and
then he can leave Arsenal with that medal, and I'll be fine with it. I'll be happy. I'll be at peace. Gone. He's got that medal. He's been a great servant to his club. He won us 2 cup finals. He played in both of them.
Yeah, he was amazing in them.
Notably that one against when he got into Costa's head. So yeah.
Right, Canners, I think you've got to depart. Is that correct, Tony? You right for another 5-10 minutes?
Yeah, work calls.
Yeah, no problem. So, Canners, it's lovely having you back on there. It's been a long time. He's repping the France
absolutely.
shirt. Is Armoury on the back of that, I take it?
Listen, hold on. I've got to
show you. Go on.
Give me
the World Cup.
Let me get the close up. Hold on, wait there. Let me get the close up. There we go.
The World Cup. And
that's crazy.
And then I'll show you the back quickly. Hold up.
You've got to have the big TT on the back. There he is.
There it is.
Big TT. Love it. I love
what a way to sign out.
Pardon?
Right.
What a way to sign out.
You know that. Guys, it's been, mate, I've missed you. It's been a minute, but listen, be back soon. And look, hopefully we get more signings. I'm loving the fact that we got Trossard and love talking to you guys again. And everyone, obviously, in the chat, absolutely massive. Big up, guys.
Love it. Catch you in a bit, Canners, brother.
Take care, guys.
Peace. Right. So yeah, T, we'll carry on for another 7 to 10 minutes, or we get through these comments, and then we'll bounce as well. James, let us know what this breaking news is. That's on Twitter, please. Unless I've missed a comment earlier.
Now, but there's just adverts. So
this guy's in Ethiopia. Main rivalry is United. Yeah, we're getting a lot of that. And Edu can help us add Tielemans and Savic to the squad in case of injuries in that match midfield. I do think that's still something we need to address. El Nene, Lukonga, or Smith Rowe, fine. But yeah, if we could get another one of a bit more quality, I think the Tielemans ship has sailed for me. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I saw something that is definitely going to happen this January now. It's going to.
Yeah. And even now, I feel where we are, we need to aim higher now than Tielemans. And I think he's a good player. But it's we solidified. I think Tielemans, in my head, Tielemans would have taken us to not even where we are now. I think he would have taken us to top 4. But now I'm thinking, now we need to go and be winning and challenging every year now. We're here. So I don't need a stopgap as such. I need better. So that's why I'm very happy with Savic. If Rice comes, my issue with Rice is he's not better than Partey. Yes, he offers competition. However, does he do enough does he improve on Xhaka? I don't know if he does in that final third. I think it's difficult, and this is why I think I'm always more keen for Savic, because Savic is not just his numbers, but his overall goals and assist tally is a lot better than Xhaka, and he's defensively strong as well. So he gives you the quality Xhaka's got with a little bit extra in that forward area, which I don't think Rice gives us. Because again, if Partey's fully fit for a season, Partey starts, and then it's one of, for me, Rice or Xhaka, and I don't see. It's good if there's not much drop off, but for me, it's like, can we improve on rather than worry about the squad in that position. So that's my only thing with that midfield area. That's why I wouldn't be going for Tielemans. However, you never know. Again, he could come in and absolutely light up at Arsenal because of the style of football we play. Again, Leicester are really struggling, and he's still been okay. He scored some really good, important goals. So he offers something. I think outside of Manchester, Arsenal versus United still looked at as the biggest English football rivalry globally. Yeah, Madrid and Barca might have something to say about that, but it's definitely up there.
It's big. It's always big.
Yeah, always. Who is? I think we went on the decline at the same time, and it looks like both of us are coming back at the same time as well. So it's going to be quite. It would be amazing to see Arsenal and United fight out for top spot again, as long as Arsenal come out on top. Again,
or Europa League final.
Yeah, well, imagine that. They got to get past Barcelona first. But yeah, no, you think back, like even when I look at the Premier League for the last how many years, I've been a City fan on the slide. You know what I mean? Don't like Liverpool. Like as long as it's not United or Liverpool or Tottenham winning things, then City could do what they want to do. Like they just clean up. Whereas now, imagine if Arsenal and United are going for a title and Arsenal lose it to United, it burns. It's like, I can't take it. Do you know what I mean? So as much as it's nice to see a bit of the rivalry come back at the same time, I'd rather just let us battle with City and, do you know what I mean? We do our thing. But yeah, let's see if there's any. James is taking the P.
It'll be nice. Go on.
He said holding it game time in the 23s.
He's just going to draw me out. I've said my piece on Holding. I said that let him leave with a Premier League medal. I'm happy.
Yeah. So I think this is talking about this Polish centre back. He's confirmed the news. This player will fly tomorrow Sunday to sign for us. Yeah. Obviously we're on the stream, so I haven't really.
Let's have a look at that. But I don't think. Do we really need a centre? We don't need a centre back.
Don't know. Yeah.
It's a crazy one. I just don't think the problem is. I don't think the centre midfielder is going to happen this window because I think they really are seriously looking at Rice. And I think,
again, this is my thing: is do we just bring someone in to help, or do we bring someone in to improve? And I think that's why we wait. I think if we bring someone in to help, and again, I get the Douglas Luiz. I don't think we was going to go for Luiz until El Nene got injured. I think Arteta was more than happy with El Nene and Partey.
He trusts El Nene. Look, I mean, a lot of people give El Nene a lot of stick, but he does what you ask him to do. You know, look, he knows his level, and we know his level, but he does do it. Look, if he's covering Partey for 1 or 2 matches, he's fine. But when Partey's out for a lengthy amount of time, that's when it becomes a problem because of the consistency. So I can see why he trusts El Nene, and I can see why if we don't get anybody, and we definitely do get a Rice in the summer, it makes sense. But it is a risk.
BK saying, sorry. Yeah, sorry, just jumping in. BK saying, how can we pay 20 million for Trossard? Way too much for someone in the last 6 months of his contract. And again, but will we be saying that if we win the league and he scores 2 winners on the road to us winning the league? Do you know what I mean? That 20 million is now nothing. Do you know what I mean? I understand the logic behind it, but I think this has been the problem with Arsenal for too long. We've played the transfer market sometimes a bit too slow or a bit too, do you know what I mean, risk of error. Like we just been, oh no, we don't want to do that, and we can end up missing out. But James is always saying,
talk about 25 million. They talk about like it's 25 million 5 years ago. 25 million 5 years ago is 10 million. So
yeah. It's not that much. And from what James has just said, Trossard had 18 months left. And Ed's piped in and said Brighton triggered his option. So he had 6 months left with an option of another year. So Brighton would have triggered it to make him have 18 months. So yeah, it is what it is. But do you know what? Right, it's not our money, and this is the problem. We could have spent 70, and it might not have worked out. We spent 25. Let's just enjoy it. So James is saying that Fabrizio Romano has tweeted something out. So I'm just going to go to it now because I've just found the tweet. This is the centre back he was talking about. So Arsenal are closing in on a deal to sign Polish centre back Jakub Kiwior. You know, I don't really do pronunciations. From Spezia, that's in Italy, I believe, isn't it?
Spezia.
Yeah, here we go soon. Fee in excess of 20 million. Medical tests could take place this week. Still very advanced. All parties hope to get it sealed soon. So, yeah, a player joining
I
the
tell you what,
fold.
bring James in and he can tell us more.
We got our European correspondent. Let's stop sharing that one. James, how you keeping?
Yeah, man.
Jump in.
I'm
Jump
good.
in for 5 minutes. Take it away. Do you know much about this player? Because you're the one that
No,
knows the
bro,
most about random people.
I've never heard of this guy in my life.
I'm going Football Manager in a minute.
Yeah, I mean, you can go on FM23 and figure out who he is. But yeah, I mean, this came out of nowhere. I mean, we've been looking at left-sided centre backs for a while, and I'm not saying it doesn't spell the end for Holding for me, especially not this season right now because he's a left-footed centre back from all accounts. And yeah, I don't know. This reminds me of the Vieira deal. This is kind of just like some random, I don't know. Yeah. Journalist from that home country puts it out. It was a Polish journalist. It's just like Arsenal have agreed to deal with this for 25 million euros, and I'm like, huh? What are you on about? Who is this?
How old is he?
He's 20. He's 22. It's 25 million euros, but he's 22. Apparently Dortmund had a bid rejected for him last week for 22 million euros. So I mean, if Dortmund are after him, maybe it gives me a bit of hope. I don't know. Apparently he can play DM as well. But
look, Dortmund have had a run of good Polish players in the past. So
yeah. No, they have Piszczek. I don't know how you say that winger's name beginning with B. It's very hard.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that one. And then I mean, 2 signings in what 3 days?
You would have thought it.
This is crazy. What's going on? Now we just need Declan Rice by the end of Jan, and then we're winning the league.
In this window, James.
No, he was signing some right now. I'm only taking the piss, but yeah. I mean, I've been trying to talk to you guys in the chat. Obviously, I'm at work, but I thought I'd drop in and let you guys know about the breaking news. Is this the first breaking news we've had of Arsenal like signing someone out like in a live stream? Or have we had it before?
Yeah, I think so. I wasn't expecting this one at all. We were not prepared for it. We had to change the title of this one as well.
Prepared for Trossard as well, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, man.
James, just let everybody know how you feel about Trossard. Give just a quick summary on
I mean, it's smart business. Obviously, Mudryk was who we wanted, and I feel like we're very specific on the forwards we're trying to sign. We're very particular with the qualities that I think we're looking for, and we're not willing to spend overly unless they fit what we're wanting to. Obviously, we tried for Rafinha, tried for Neto, tried for Mudryk now, and obviously we signed Trossard, but Trossard is something that I think Mikel Arteta has been wanting for a while, someone that can cover all 3 positions, and it wouldn't surprise me if we saw him more as a centre forward a lot more than a winger, but we'll see. But yeah, man, I mean, for 21 plus add-ons, like, it's just smart business. I'd rather us do this now and get an assured Prem player than spend 100 million on Diaby. And don't get me wrong, I like Diaby. It's just more about the fact of he's not worth 100 mil. He's worth like 60 million quid. So, that's where I'm at. It's smart and it's keeping us in the title fight for cheap business and then allowing us to have a great summer, which I expect us to do. So that's where my head's at with it. I'm happy. It's smart business. So, yeah.
100%. Nah, it makes sense. And again, I agree with you. I think Mudryk, they were happy to spend the money on. We saw him in the summer. We didn't go that high for Rafinha. Mudryk, we were happy to spend the money on. But once Diaby had come back with the same price, they obviously had said, nah, it's not like we'll spend it if it's the right player. He's not the right player. One question for you. Do you think if because again, I know what people are thinking. It seems like Trossard was kind of maybe our 5th choice. As you said, James, we went for Rafinha, we went for Neto, Diaby, Mudryk. So he's our 5th choice. Do you think that's down to age more than anything? Or Arteta this season been the 5th choice? If he was 24, do you reckon Arteta would have maybe jumped to him ahead of some of the other players?
Maybe. I just think it's around like needs must, to be honest. I think at the time of when we were after Pedro Neto, we wanted someone to compete with Martinelli because Martinelli hadn't exploded like he has towards this season, right? And we were after Rafinha because we wanted a good replacement for Saka. And I just feel like we're looking at market opportunities as at the time of when they are. Like, obviously, we didn't go for Mudryk because we weren't as reassured as we were. And then once we were more reassured, we went after him after he exploded on the UCL. Like, after he had those Champions League games where we were more certain of him. So I just, again, and this is what smart football clubs do. Obviously, you track targets for long periods of times, but you recruit them for when you need the most, I feel like. And Mudryk was someone we needed most because of Martinelli. As you can see it, he looks like he's getting run down a lot. Like he's not as quick, and he's, I feel like we're overplaying him a little bit. So that's why I feel like we're signing him. And Trossard just allows us to, I don't know, it's just smart. Again, if we weren't in a title race, I don't think we would be signing him right now. And that's just my honest opinion. I just feel like for 20 million on a 3/4 year deal contract, like we know exactly what we're getting from him. As I said in the chat, 10 plus goal and assists contributor in the league for 20 million is a steal. And
it's like the boy said earlier. It's like it gives you a Jota feel, doesn't it?
Well, it's that, or it's just, again, it's like a Ferguson, or it's like, it reminds me a lot of when Liverpool signed Shaqiri from Stoke. Cheap money, but again, what did he offer them for 3, 4, 5 years? It was consistent goal output, and when you needed him in competitions, he always produced. And I feel like we're just going to get that with Trossard. So it's just smart. It's just utilizing the funds as best as your ability as we can, and that's what we seem to be doing now as a club. So yeah,
I hear that. But yeah, that's brilliant, James. Thank you for jumping on. Silva. We're going to wrap up there. We've got a lot of guys in the comments still. We've got a lot of viewers. Guys, please make sure you slap the like button. Please make sure you subscribe. The Armoury TV's here. We're growing every week. We got the preview show at 7 o'clock tonight. There'll be a reaction show on Sunday after the United game. Hopefully it's a positive reaction show.
Tell you what, so as we're not on later, should we just give a little quick preview with predictions or something?
All right, yeah, do predictions. Yeah. James, go on, you go first. Let me see what you think. Arsenal United.
3-0 Arsenal, easy game. We're going to clap them. I'm that confident we're going to slap them. I just have a feeling we're going to take it up a level. We owe it to them because they think they're our bogey team and they think that they beat us. Well, they did beat us, but they keep saying, "Oh, we beat you without Casemiro," and it's the other way around.
Casemiro played. You played in that game.
He did. But they're saying it was like a sub appearance, right? Because he freshly signed for them. I just want to correct all the United fans. You beat us without Thomas Partey, and it's a different story this time. So just watch out because it's going to be a slapping.
They fluked us. To be fair, they fluke beat us. The referee had it. I think if Martinelli's goal stands in the first half, then the game's over. They don't beat us, and then once they get ahead, obviously the counter attack's always on. But they don't beat us in that. But again, it's if buts and maybes. But I'm with you, James. I like that war cry he's just giving me. My predictions change. Silva, give me yours first. You might bring me back down to some sense.
I am with James. I'm not even going to give him a goal. 3-0. Look, I just we may look stupid late. I don't care. But the way we're playing right now, they're down in the dumps now after that draw. They're all concerned about missing one player. We got our player. We got our players, and I think, the crowd's going to be up for it. Right, they're not going to be ready for the crowd either. So I think we'll hit them early. I think it's a few seasons back when we hit them early, 1, 2, 3, 20 minutes. I can see that happening again.
I would love it. I think this is going to probably be one of the loudest Emirates we hear in a long time. I think this is going to be a right atmosphere. The Tottenham game, Emirates was crazy, but I think this one's going to be even louder. Ed's saying a draw. He said he feels like the game has been so overhyped that it ends up being a ball 0-0. Now I agree. I think United are really going to come to defend it out and try and nick one with Rashford. So I'm not going to go as high as 3.
Yeah, I can see.
United they're going to employ the same tactics. Fred's going to not leave Odegaard's side. McTominay's probably going to play next to him and try and look after Xhaka. Eric, because what you saw them do last time, Eriksen played in the centre, didn't he? And Bruno went out to the right. So I think they're going to do that again. Or Bruno might move to the left, Anthony on the right, because I don't think Martial will be fit. Weghorst or Rashford. I don't know. I think they're going to come and try and smell out the place. So I don't think it's going to be as open. I'm going to go, do they score? I'll go 2-1. I'll go 2. It's that boring scoreline, but I'll go 2-1. I'll be more than happy with 2-0.
As long as we get that W, I don't care how.
Matters. Yeah, 1-0, 2-0, 5-0 doesn't matter.
It could be the obvious win ever. I don't care.
Yeah. Before we wrap up, I'm just going to get to Marlon's comment. He said Trossard will be certified only because he's older. For why fans complain. Kessie or Rice this window. and I believe the title will be ours to lose. Also, we need the maturity in the squad, and that's you summed it up very well there. He brings the average age up a little bit, but again, it's just when Arteta looks to the left and thinks I need someone to impact the game, he's not looking at maybes. He's looking at someone who can say, well, this guy's done it at the highest level. As such, he's been to the World Cup. He scored a hat-trick against Liverpool. He scored against Tottenham. He scored against Arsenal. Like, this guy's done it. So again, you look back at the Newcastle game where Arteta was looking left and right and didn't see anyone to bring on the pitch. This guy gives us something a bit different. So yeah, I think he's going to be a good signing. And in the short time, I think he would be a better signing than Mudryk. But as I said earlier, I think Mudryk has a way higher ceiling. But yeah, as James said earlier as well, this window is to win the league. If we was battling for top 4, if we was sitting 8 points behind City but comfortably in second, I don't think this signing happens because our objective was top 4 and we go big in the summer. But we've put ourselves in this position and we have to react, and react we're doing because it looks like we're signing 2 players. So yeah, if you've missed out on any of the show, obviously Trossard, the medical's done as reported by Fabrizio earlier. It looks like hopefully he signed the paperwork's all signed off, but Arsenal won't announce it until all the videos are done. So we're hoping he'll be included in the squad for Sunday. And as broken to you by our correspondent James, James, unmute yourself and announce the new player we look like we're signing. I'm not saying the name.
let me find his name, because what is going on? 1 second. Bro,
I'm throwing you under.
Jacob. Is Jakub bro, that last name is a madness.
Kiwior.
Bro, you try and say it, right? It's Kiwior. How do you say that?
We're English, we try and pronounce all the letters, and we have to skip a couple of letters in there. But
I know what that would be.
Tony, do you want to take it away for us?
Well, Jakub Kiwior.
Kiwior.
Did you just say Jakub Kiwior?
That sounds.
Yeah, Jakub Kiwior. That's what Jakub. It'd be Jakub, don't they?
Jakub Kiwior. I don't know, bro. I sound like I've stapled my tongue. I can't say his last name.
Comes back, that's right. I'm gonna be well pleased with that. I'm hoping
he's one of them guys that would just put his first name on the back of his shirt and just call himself Jakub for us.
Yeah.
So
Jakub W.
Jakub, please, we put Jakub on the back. But we got some breaking news. As said, it was reported by James for us. Fabrizio has come out and said Arsenal are close to signing a deal for Polish centre back Jakub Kiwior from Spezia. 20 million, and again, it's quite a big investment for someone none of us have really heard of, and we haven't been linked to. It's quite a big investment, so they must have seen something in him.
I trust it.
We trusted this team at the moment.
Yeah, you look at the players they brought in. We did the same thing last year, like Tomiyasu, so.
Do you remember when we got the worst deal at Tomiyasu and Emerson Royale? Do you remember that? That's aged so badly, that one, hasn't it? So
again, look at that though. We played the long game of Emerson Royale, and then look what happened there. Maybe long game. Maybe I'm onto something there. You might
be. You might be. But right, guys, and that's our time. We out of here. Things to do. It's Friday afternoon. Big game this weekend. Catch the boys at 7:00. Catch Bobby and the crew with the preview, and then hopefully Arsenal could just deliver another beautiful weekend for us Gooner fans. But 2 signings looking like they're over the line. One definitely, one like it's incoming. It's Arsenal moving different this year, man. I'm loving life. From all of us at the Armoury. Enjoy the rest of your weekends.